Okay. So have a seat. You can elevate your hips if you'd like. And get settled, and then find that mudra, Kali mudra. Interlace all of your fingers except the first two. And then we're going to start with pointing the mudra down to the ground, so you touch your index fingers to the ground. So if that feels like it's pulling you forward or rounding your spine or your shoulders, that's when a block can be helpful. You can lift the floor up to you and then touch the block with your index fingers, and that way you can draw your shoulders back over your hips and have a nice tall spine. Okay. And so once you find this shape and this mudra, you can close your eyes and start to tune into your breath. And so this mudra is used to kind of have a sense of pouring out down your arms. So releasing out, letting go of what isn't needed anymore. And we use this mudra a lot when you're feeling kind of negative energy. Maybe it's something you've absorbed from somebody else, or just something you're feeling in your body or your mind, drawing you towards, negativity. This is a nice mudra to do to help you pour all that negative energy out, make space for positive energy and light, clarity. So take a few breaths here, just thinking about letting go, loosening your grip, something. Letting go of what is no longer needed. Maybe it's some sort of emotion that continues to creep in. Or some kind of limiting belief. And let your breath help you to release. And let it flow out of your body right into the ground. And this is mudra. Kali mudra is named after the goddess Kali. She's the goddess of Kala, or time. And the goddess of transformation and change. And she might look scary, but she's only scary if you are holding onto something that you should be letting go of. And you think about her like that. She'll take what you don't need. Let's take another few deep breaths. And then release that mudra, bring your hands to Anjali mudra right in front of your heart. Bow your head. Make an offering of your practice. And let's gather our breath and share the sound of Om. Take a nice deep breath in. As you're ready, you can release your hands and circle them out and up. Reach up and look up. And then exhale, draw your hands down through your center. Okay, do that twice more. Take a deep breath in, reach up, look up. Exhale. Soften your nostrils, tone the back of your throat. Breathe a little more deeply. Bring your hands all the way through center on that last one, all the way down to your knees. We're going to circle around a little bit. So just start to move around in one direction. So keeping your hips heavy. Move your spine around. And stir up anything that's maybe stuck through your hips. And start to move some energy around through your navel center, your belly. Or to find a connection of your movement and your breath. And let's pause at the center once you get back, and then go in the opposite direction a couple times. So inhale, go back, exhale, and come forward. Like you're stirring it up here. And then make your way back through center. Let's circle the arms out and up again. Reach up and look up, and then side bend over to the right. So take your right hand down, reach your left arm up and over. Try to drop your left sit bone as you reach through your left fingertips. Maybe even draw your chest up towards the sky. Slide your left shoulder back. And then come on up and twist over to your right. So cross your left arm over your body. Take your right hand behind you, lengthen through your spine. Start to feel your core engage to keep you upright, keep you steady, stable here. And then back through center. Let's reach up and look up. Lengthen through your side body, and then your left hand down, right arm up and over. And try to drop your right sit bone so you can press into the ground with this left hand. And that might help you to drop your right sit bone, reach a little longer through your right fingertips. Look under your right arm. And then come on up and twist over to the left. And let your left hand just be your guide. Invite a deeper twist through your spine. But again, keep your core nice and strong so you're not rounding in your spine. You're lifting your chest. And then let's come back through center one more time. Float up through the arms. Inhale. And then draw them down through your heart as you exhale. Okay, so if you're sitting on something, let's move that out of the way and grab your block. Oh, our center, think about Kali. There's Kali. She's got the skulls around her neck and really red eyes. She can be a little scary, but she's just taking what you don't need. So no need to be afraid. But the goddess of transformation, of change, and the flow of energy. So that's the third chakra if we think about our energy center. So from the base of the spine up to the crown of the head. The third one's right at the navel, and the element associated with that chakra is fire. Right? You need fire to transform. So we're going to work on our core a little bit to help with that. So you have your block on the low height, right on top of your knees, like the low thighs. Press the block into your legs and your hands into your block. We're just going to roll up and down a couple of times. Okay? But the more you feel that connection there with the block and your hands and your legs, you might feel a little more warmth in your core, in your navel center. So on this next one, or when you're ready, see if you can come up and just let your feet float. See if you can maybe just not touch the ground at all with your feet. Go back, exhale, come up. You know, you have to use your bandhas too, your mula bandha, your uddiyana bandha. Lengthen up through your spine as you come up. But one more time. And then lower down. And now take your right foot to the ground and bring the block just on your left thigh. Just where it was, but just now on just the left thigh. Okay, so from here, we're gonna take a twist. You're gonna extend your right leg, let it hover off the ground. Take your right elbow, bend it, and then bring your right elbow to the block. And push the elbow into the block, push the block into your leg. Reach your left arm forward to the outside of your left thigh. Woo! Good core work there. You could try to lift your left shoulder blade. We'll do a little bit more. Get pretty warm there. Reach through your toes. Just one more breath. And then we'll switch. You can lower your head and your shoulders. Bring your left foot to the ground to start. And take your block right on top of your right thigh. Extend your left leg long as you're ready. Let it hover off the ground. Energy through your toes. Bend your left elbow, bring it to your block, and stretch your right arm to the outside of your right thigh, pressing down through your lower back. Try to lift up through your right shoulder. Really press your elbow into the block. Ooh, that's good for the core. Take another breath. There's some fire happening there, hopefully. Things are transforming. And then go ahead and release. Let's bring the feet down so you can slide the block under your pelvis there. Take a little supported bridge. And that can be on the low height or the medium height. Stretch your arms over your head so you're nice and long through the front side of your body. You might even soften or close your eyes for a moment here. Just feel the length, again, over the belly and the chest, all the way through your knees. Take one more full Ujjayi breath. Hear that whispering sound. And then you can lower your arms, lift your hips, move your block out of the way. And let's rock and roll. Come on up. Cross your ankles. Make your way back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So spread your fingers, lift your hips, lengthen your spine. And then once you find downward dog, take some movement. Pedal your heels maybe, whatever helps you to create some space. Deep breaths, nod your head yes, shake it no, let go of holding through the neck or the shoulders. And press the floor away so you get a little bit longer through the front of your spine, the back of your spine. And then let's walk your hands back to your feet for Uttanasana at the back of your mat. So check in with your feet, make sure they're parallel under your hips. Root into your heels, spread your toes, and then halfway lift Ardha Uttanasana. Slide your hands right up your shins, reach back through your hips, out through the crown of your head. Tone your belly. Exhale and fold. Let your head drop heavy. Lengthen down through your spine. And then halfway lift again, inhale. Plant your hands and walk your way forward back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And then into plank pose. Breathing in, float your way forward. Shoulders right over your wrists, tone your thighs. Draw your low ribs toward each other. Slide your shoulder blades away from your ears. Feel into your head here. Make sure the back of your head is in line with your spine, so you're not dropping your head down. And then lower your knees, child's pose, balasana. Hips to your heels, belly to your thighs, or you can take your knees wide and forehead to the ground. Take time, pour the weight of your hips into your heels. Feel space in your back of your pelvis, your lower back. As you roll your inner arms in and up toward the sky, widen your shoulder blades. Another breath here. And then we'll come up into Anahata Asana. So just slide your arms forward. You can look forward. Align your hips right over your knees and then melt your heart to the ground. Pour your heart into the ground. Rest your forehead, so on the floor or a blanket or a block. Take a few breaths here. And once again, roll your inner arms up toward the sky. Let's take another breath. And lift your head when you're ready. Walk your hands back and under your shoulders. And then move your spine through a few rounds of cat and cow with your breath. So inhale, find a back bend to extend your spine, and then exhale, forward bend around your spine. Okay, so move along with your breath. If there's any other wiggling around you need to do, feel free. Free up some energy or something physical that might feel stuck. You can release. Feel free to do so. Okay, and then find your way to a neutral spine. So anytime we stand on our hands, we want to make sure, especially when you're doing like a side plank, you want to make sure, so for example, we're going to stand on our left hand first. You want to spread your fingers wide, and then isometrically turn your left hand to the left so it'll roll open your shoulder, and that way you're not dumping your weight into your shoulder. So imagine you're opening up a jar to the left with your left hand, okay? You're going to take your right arm to the sky, breathing in. Exhale, scoop your right arm under your chest and just reach to the left. You can put a little bend in your left elbow as you reach, and then you'll come back up. Inhale. And then exhale. Good, one more time. Breathing in. And then breathing out. Inhale, we'll come back up. Now into side plank here. So you're gonna kick your left foot out to the left, stretch your right leg back. So a modified side plank. Think about that left hand. Isometrically turn your left hand to the left. Feel your shoulder roll open and try to stack your right shoulder over your left best you can. Tone your belly and lift your right leg. Flex your right foot. Leg right in line with your hip. Okay, so a little movement here. You're gonna bend your right elbow, bend your right knee, and then on the exhale, draw them toward each other. See if they can touch. Press them into each other. And then inhale, extend. And then exhale, draw your right elbow, right knee toward each other. See if they can touch. Give them a little press, a little connection there. One more time. Inhale, extend, exhale. Inhale, re-extend. One more thing here. You're gonna bend your right knee, draw your foot behind you, reach your right hand behind you, see if you can catch your foot, and then kick your foot into your hand. So you're still rolling open through your shoulders. And now as you kick your foot into your right hand, you can feel even more of a stretch through your right shoulder. Tone your belly. Release your foot, carefully bring your right hand back down. You're gonna tuck your left toes, find three-legged dog, reach your right leg high. And then bend your knee and open up your hip. Maybe roll through your toes, wiggle your ankle a little bit there. Or wiggle your toes and roll through your ankle, either one. Draw your right knee towards your nose as you exhale, and then step your right foot forward. We'll lower the back knee down. Take a blanket under your knee if you need. Let's come back to Kali Mudra. So interlace your fingers, except the first two, sweep forward and up. Hug your inner thighs toward each other. Draw your belly in and up and lengthen through the side body. Reach way up through your index fingers. Hug your upper arms toward your ears. And steady your eyes. As you exhale, bend your elbows, cactus your arms. Slide your shoulder blades toward each other. And then bring your hands all the way down. Slide your hips back. Ardha Hanumanasana. Press into your right heel, flex your right foot, draw your right hip back. Deep bend through the front of your hips. Let's come forward to a lunge and then take a twist. So left hand down, lift your left knee, take your right arm to the sky, twist to the right. Outer right hip drawing back. And again, you're standing on this left hand, so roll open your left shoulder, stack your right shoulder over your left. Okay, now pop up onto your left fingertips. So maybe a little more energy through your legs. We're gonna step forward into a revolved chair pose. Okay, so look forward, push off your back foot, step it forward. Your left hand might be on a block. If there's a block nearby, you can take your left hand on a block or just touch your fingertips to the ground. Keep opening up your chest to the right. One more big breath in. Exhale and fold over your legs, Uttanasana, top of your mat. Let's stand all the way up. Inhale, use your legs, use your core, reach up and look up. Exhale, bend your elbows out to the sides, cactus your arms. Draw your hips forward, lift your heart up. Exhale and fold all the way into your legs. Halfway lift, breathing in. Exhale your right foot back, left foot back, find plank. And then we'll come into modified plank, lower your knees. And then from there, pick up your feet and you can cross your ankles. Okay, now you're gonna drop your hips so they feel like they're in line with your knees and your shoulders. You feel a tone to your belly. Okay, I'm gonna do 3 chaturanga push-ups here. So as you exhale, you wanna stay broad through your collarbones and through your shoulders. You'll exhale, come maybe a third of the way down, maybe halfway down. And then inhale, press back up. And do that twice more. Exhale, bend your elbows so they point toward the back corners of your mat. Inhale, come up. On this last one, take a moment to pause, find your edge. Pause, and then lower all the way down. Stretch your legs back. Let's come up into Bhujangasana, Cobra. Slide your heart forward and up, inhale. Lower down as you exhale. Press up and back, child's pose. And take a breath there. Let your hips drop into your heels. Lengthen through your spine. Reach through your arms. From here, come on up as you inhale, all fours. Okay, now we're gonna stand on the right hand, so you're isometrically turning your right hand to the right, tone your belly. Sweep your left arm out and up to the sky, breathing in, and that twist there. Exhale, scoop your left arm under your chest and reach. Inhale, come on back up, open up your chest. Exhale. Inhale, last time, and exhale. Same as you inhale, come on up, kick your right foot behind you, step your left foot back, this version of side plank pose. Keep turning your right hand to the right, isometrically roll open your shoulder, tone your belly, and then lift your left leg up. Flex your foot as if you're standing on the wall behind you. Really firm up your leg. Now bend your left elbow, bend your left knee, and draw your elbow and your knee toward each other. That's an exhale. Push them into each other if you can. And then inhale, extend. Exhale. One more time. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Come back, and then bend your knee, take your foot behind you, reach back, catch your foot if you can to this half bow pose. Open up through your shoulders, still rolling open through your right shoulder. And now kicking into your left hand, rolling open your left shoulder a bit more. Breathe across your chest. And then release, bring your left hand down, tuck your right toes, 3-legged dog, left leg high, bend your knee, open your hip. Press the ground away, lengthen your spine. Wiggle your toes, roll your ankle. Knee to nose as you exhale, there's that cat-like spine, and then step your left foot through. Lower your back knee, maybe take a blanket under your knee if you need a little more support. Kali Mudra, reach forward and up. Tone the inner thighs toward each other, tone your belly, lift your chest. Reaching your index fingers toward the sky like an antenna, drawing down positive energy, reaching up toward the light. Feel the side body long. Hug your arms toward your ears. And then exhale, bend your elbows. Cactus your arms. Hands down. Hips back, Ardha Hanumanasana. Deep bend through the front of your hips, long through your spine. And then forward into your lunge. Plant your right hand, lift your right knee, sweep your left arm out and up. Find your twist. Strong through the legs. Keep hugging your inner thighs toward each other. Send your outer left hip back. Try to stack your shoulders. And then come onto your right fingertips. You can even have a block here now as we prepare to step forward for a revolved chair pose. So you're gonna look forward, push off your back foot, step it forward. Both knees stay bent, stay open and twisting to the left if you can. Fingertips to the ground or to your block. Sit your hips, inhale. And then exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, fold into your legs. Come all the way up. Inhale, use your legs, your core, reach up, look up. And draw energy up your legs. Slide your hips forward as you bend your elbows. A little standing back bend. And then fold all the way down. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale your left foot back, right foot back, plank. Let's come back to modified plank and modified chaturanga. So lower your knees, lift your feet and cross your ankles. Drop your hips so they feel in line with your knees and your shoulders. Broaden through your chest. Tone your belly. And then as you exhale, lower. Find your edge to lower too. You want to be able to press back up on that inhale. And then exhale, lower. Inhale, back up. Last time, you're going to lower, find your edge, hover. Stay calm in your face. And then lower all the way down. Stretch your legs back. Reach your heart forward and up, Bhujangasana, Cobra. Lower down, exhale. Child's pose. Pour your hips back to your heels, lengthen your spine, and rest your head. If you can, stretch your arms forward. Now slide your hands in towards your knees. Let's stand on your shins and come into Ustrasana. You don't have to go so deep. We'll just take that kind of first variation of camel pose. So take your hands to your lower back, wrap your elbows in, engage your thighs, send your hips forward, lift your heart up. So you have a big arc through your spine. Belly strong. Hips reach forward, heart reaches up as you start to go back. Now press into the tops of your feet. You might feel your hamstrings engage. Press the tops of your feet into the ground. Inhale, come back up. Good, and lower down. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Take another breath here. Let's set your feet a little closer together on the center line. And then three-legged dog. Reach your right leg up, bend your knee and open up your hip. Knee to your nose as you exhale. Step your right foot forward. Look forward, step it through. Come up into a high lunge with Kali Mudra. So get grounded and stable first, and then find your mudra. Reach forward and up. Sweep on up. So let this mudra help you to find more length through your side body, through the front of your spine. Hug your upper arms towards your ears. Look right along your horizon line. Then we're going to take a little side bend to the right. So stay strong and grounded in your legs and then bend over to the right. So inhale, come back up. We're going to lower the back knee down. If you need to use your hands, use your hands. I don't want you to crash the knee down. Lower down slowly. And then let's deepen the side bend. So grab your block, take it to the outside of your right hip, sweep your left arm up and over. And that block can be on any height, low, medium, tall. Just make sure it's not unstable. You can always have your hand on your hip instead. And try to keep your hips at center. Just reach up out of your left hip. Sweep your hands down, slide your hips back. Ardha Hanumanasana again. From here, come forward. into this low lunge. You want to keep your spine long here and reaching forward. We're gonna try to hook the elbow to the outside of the knee. So reach your left arm forward, bend the elbow and hook it to the outside of your knee. Good, so stay low. Anjali Mudra in your hands, so press your palms together. Start to spin your heart up toward your thumbs, hug your outer hips in, send your elbows in opposite directions. Okay, and then pick up your back knee. Okay, you guessed it here. Revolved chair pose, look forward. Push off your back foot, step your left foot next to your right. Stay low in your hips. Draw your outer left hip back, breathe in. And then fold as you breathe out. Take an extra breath here, let your head hang nice and heavy. And then stand all the way up. Inhale, reach up and look up. Exhale, bend your elbows out to the sides. Find those cactus arms again. And now sweep your hands behind you. Find your Kali Mudra behind you, pointing your index fingers toward the ground again, emptying out any tension through your shoulders, anything stuck there. Bend your knees, and now let's fold over the legs. You can let the arms float up and over your head. Let your head hang nice and heavy. So here in this pose, and we'll do it on the other side as well, or in the second round, you can start to slowly straighten your legs if you like. Trying to keep your belly on your thighs. And then release your hands. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step your right foot back, then your left. So in plank pose, you can take modified chaturanga. Again, lower your knees, or maybe full chaturanga into upward facing dog, perhaps. Thighs and hips are off the ground. Downward facing dog, exhale. Take a deep breath here. Lift your left leg as you inhale, bend your knee, open your hip. Draw your knee to your nose and step your left foot through. Back to our high lunge, so firm up your feet, let them connect to the floor, hug your inner thighs toward each other, find Kali Mudra, reach forward and up. And again, reaching up toward the light. Positive energy, look forward, soften your eyes. Stay stable through your legs as you side bend to your left. Inhale, come on back up. We're going to lower the back knee, so use your hands if you need. Go really, really slow. And then deepen your side bend. Grab your block, bring it to the outside of your left hip. Stretch your right arm up and over. And again, try to keep your hips at the center, so you're reaching up and out of that right hip. Exhale, bring your hands down and your hips back, Ardha Hanumanasana. And then come forward back to your lunge. So again, stay low, long through your spine, reach your heart forward, reach your right arm forward, hook your elbow to the outside of your knee. Good. Anjali Mudra with your hands. Start to spin your chest up toward your thumbs, elbows pointing the opposite directions. And then tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Reach back through your right heel, out through the crown of your head. Looking forward, revolve chair. Take your time. Push off your back foot. Step your right foot forward. It's okay to take a few steps or to wobble up to the top of the mat. No problem. Outer right hip back. Heart reaching forward. Breathing in. And then Uttanasana, breathing out. Again, taking an extra breath here. Empty out through the head, through your spine. And then come on up, inhale, reach up, look up. Bend your elbows out to the sides, lift your chest. Kali Mudra behind your back, point your index fingers down, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift up through your chest, bend your knees and fold. And again, you might play with trying to straighten your legs slowly by lifting your sit bones, rooting down through your heels. Stay with your breath, sensation. And then release your hands, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale your left foot back, right foot back, plank. Take your vinyasa, again, modified chaturanga or full chaturanga, bhujangasana or urdhva mukha svanasana, cobra or upward facing dog. Roll your shoulders back and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. Let's come to the top of the mat. You can step or float your way there. If you float, get your hips nice and high to come forward. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana once you're there, and then fold on your exhale. Stand all the way up, breathing in. Kali Mudra up and over your head. Firm up your legs and your core. Let's take a side bend over to the right. So send your hips go left. As you reach to the right, firm up your thighs. Inhale, back up. Exhale over to the left. Hips go right as you reach left. Inhale, back up. And then exhale, fold Uttanasana. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, step your left foot back, Virabhadrasana 1. So you're going to turn your back toes out, rise on up, Warrior 1. Draw your outer right hip back. Press into the outer edge of your left foot. Good. Try to square your hips, your chest to the top of your mat. And again, soften, steady your eyes. Sweep your arms back. Now again, Kali behind your back. Come into a variation of Warrior 3. You're going to lean forward. So you're going to keep your standing legs soft. You're going to come forward, keep a little bend in that right knee, and then bend your left knee a lot. See if you can bring your heel to touch your index fingers. So engage your hamstrings. Now, if you can get your heel to touch your index fingers, then push them into each other. And you'll engage your hamstrings even more. Slide your heart forward. Take one more breath. Soften that right knee. And then bring your hands to your heart. Figure 4. So you're going to slide your left knee through and then cross your ankle over your right knee. Have a little seat there. So the front of your hips draw back and down. Open up your outer left hip. Flex your left foot. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. Stay or twist to your right. You can see if you can hook your left elbow to the sole of your left foot. Maybe you want to open your arms. You might touch the ground or a block. Feel that connection of your foot and your arm if you're taking this variation. One more breath in. And then fold as you exhale. Slowly release your hands and your left foot to the ground. Sway a little bit here. Maybe catch opposite elbows. Let the weight of your head go. And let's stand back up. Inhale, reach up. Look, I'm really tall. Kali Mudra, right up and overhead. Side bend to your left. Firm up your legs. Hips draw right as you reach left. Back through center. Over to the right. Feel that space through your ribs, outer hip. Back up, inhale, exhale, and fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale your right foot back, Virabhadrasana 1. Turn your toes out. Reach on up. Steady and strong through your legs. Square your hips. Hug your inner thighs toward each other. That'll help to square your hips. And steady your eyes. Sweep your arms back. Kali Mudra at the back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, lean forward. Soft bend in the left knee as you pick up the right. Bend your right knee deeply, hamstring curl there. See if you can draw your heel to touch your index fingers. Engage your hamstrings. Push them into each other. Lift your chest. Breathe. Okay, so hands to your heart, slowly shift into a figure 4. Draw your right knee through and then cross your ankle. Flex your right foot. So you might stay in this version of chair pose or twist to your left and hook your right elbow into the sole of your right foot. And that could be where you stay, or reach your right fingertips down to your block or to the floor and open up your arms. Stretch your outer right hip. Strengthen your hamstrings. Exhale. Carefully fold over your legs. Uttanasana. Sway again. Let your head be heavy. Pour out through your spine and the crown of your head. Let's use an inhale to rise up. Reach up and look up. Exhale and fold again. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Step back. Take a vinyasa. Halfway or all the way down. Chaturanga into cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, from here, let's float your right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee, open your hip. Draw your knee to your nose, stepping through Virabhadrasana 1. Once again, reach up through your arms. Sweep your arms back. Kali mudra behind your back. Lean forward. Lift your left leg, bend your left knee. See if you can touch your heel to your index fingers. And then from there, let's lift up the chest. Let's try to stand tall. Do your best. If you can't touch your index fingers, it's totally fine. Just hug your heel toward your hip. Maybe try to straighten your standing leg. Lift your chest. So it's more like a Nataradrasana, dancing Shiva. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Okay, now release. Step your left foot back so you're in a long runner's lunge. You can bring your fingertips down. Good. Spin your back heel down, Virabhadrasana 2. Reach your left arm forward, up and back. Open up through this right knee. Good. Open up through your hips. Peaceful warrior. Take your right arm up and back. That's an inhale. And then exhale into triangle pose. Straighten your right leg, reach forward, and then down. You can come to your shin, to a block, to your ankle. Lean back and open your chest. Let's try half bind here. Turn your palm to face behind you. Your thumb faces down as you wrap your arm around your back. Maybe hand to your low back or to the front of your right thigh. Roll your left shoulder back. Maybe even lean a bit into that left arm. So you're leaning a little bit more back rather than forward. Good. Firm up your legs. Lift your kneecaps, take another breath. Okay, exhale, release your hands down and pivot to the left. Let's turn our heels in and our toes out and glide side to side, these ninja lunges. So we're working our way into Skandasana. Let's open up the hips and the hamstrings a little bit more. So I'll give you a couple options here. You're gonna bend into your right knee when you're ready. Okay, so you might stay high. You might have your hands on the block or the floor, hips back, heart forward. Or if you can go a little lower, take your block on the tall height and maybe sit on the block. So the block is just in front of your right sit bone. And that's a good option too. Maybe hands to your heart. If you can go even lower in your hip, then move your block and draw your right hip down toward your right heel. Hands to the floor, to your heart. Strong left leg, flex your left foot. Elbows point out to the sides. Okay, good. Hands down. Let's face the top of the mat, long runner's lunge. Good. From there, you're gonna lower your back knee, your left knee. So slide it a bit more forward so it lands under your left hip. And we're gonna swing your right leg back, open up, back to side plank, Vashisthasana. Maybe stretch your right arm up and over your right ear. Think about rolling open through that left shoulder. Stay or lift your right foot, or walk your right foot forward and step your left foot back, so you're in a full version of Vashisthasana, both legs straight. Okay, take another breath. Toning your belly, stacking your shoulders. Right hand down, three-legged dog. Right away, lift your right leg back up, bend your knee, open your hip. So one more thing here, you can stay or lift your left heel, pivot on the ball of your left foot. Maybe you want to flip your dog. Pivot till that right hand gets light. Remember to continue to lift up and out of your left shoulder. Lift your hips, lift your heart. And then sink your hips. Come back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. Let's lift your left leg up, breathing in, bend your knee, open up your hip. Exhale, knee to your nose, step your left foot forward, Virabhadrasana 1. Get steady in your pose. Draw your outer left hip back. Drop through the front of your spine. Good. Arms sweep back. Find Kali behind you. Lift your chest. Then lean forward. Soft bend in your left knee. Bend your right knee. See if you can draw your heel right towards your fingertips. And then from there, keep that connection. Lift your chest. Go slow so that you're standing tall. Firm up your left leg. Spread your left toes. And keep pressing your fingertips in towards your right heel if you can, or keep squeezing your heel in toward your hip. One more breath. Release. Step back, bring your fingertips to the ground. Turn a long runner's lunge, and then warrior 2. Spin your back heel down. Come on up. Extend your arms. And roll up in your left knee. Take a deep breath. Listen to the sound of your breath. Next inhale, peaceful warrior. Reach up and back. Keep sliding your left shin forward. And then right into triangle pose. Exhale, left hand down, right arm high. And touch somewhere where you can still lean back. We don't want to lean forward. We want to open up through your chest and your shoulders. So your shin, a block, your ankle. Draw your kneecaps up toward your hips, firm up your legs. Maybe a half bind, turn your palm to face behind you. Thumb faces the ground as you wrap your arm behind your back. And then from there, we fill in your low back, like breathe into your right hand, your right arm. And spin open through your thoracic spine, chest up toward the sky. Head in line with your spine. On the exhale, let's release the hands. You can pivot to the right this time and take your ninja lunges side to side again. It's working our way, working out anything sticky or stuck or tight. Anything we're gripping in the hips here, energetically or physically. Let's let that go. And then eventually Skandasana over to the left. So you're bending your left knee deeply. Make sure your knee is tracking over your toes. You can stay high, or maybe grab the block. Place it in front of your sit bone, like under your hamstrings. Maybe there. Flex your right foot. Or maybe you can lose the block and go even deeper. Left hip towards your left heel. Right leg strong, right foot flexed. Hands down. Go back to facing the top of your mat. Left leg is forward. You're in your long runner's lunge. And then lower your back knee. Slide it a bit more forward so it's more under your hip, and send your left leg back. Vashisthasana, side plank. Take your variation, maybe left arm floats up and over your left ear. Find that length through your side body. Maybe you lift your left leg. Maybe you take your left foot forward and your right foot back. So your left foot is in front of your right and your both legs are straight, Vashisthasana. Left hand down, right away, three-legged dog. Left leg goes high, bend your knee, open your hip. Keep the weight even through your hands. Stay, or we'll flip the dog. So pick up your right heel, pivot on the ball of your right foot till your left hand gets light. All 10 toes face the back of your mat. Make sure you're lifting up out of that right shoulder. Lift your hips, lift your chest. And then sink your hips to come back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Stay or take a vinyasa here. You might want to rinse that through. Plank pose, halfway or all the way down. Cobra or upward dog. On the breath, downward facing dog. Take a full round of your breath here. Maybe there's a lion's breath or a big old sigh out through your mouth. Let it go. Pour it out. Make some space. Back to the top of your mat. Step or float your way there. Ardha Uttanasana, breathing in and fold as you breathe out. Use your legs, use your core. Let's stand up, reach up, look up. Draw your hands to your heart. Tadasana. So let's come into Nataradrasana, dancing Shiva pose. So similar to what we were doing before, only now we're going to catch our foot with our hand. So let's stand on your right foot first. Do a hamstring curl with your left leg. So hug your heel toward your hip, and you can probably feel, again, your hamstrings turning on there as you hug the heel in. So stay that active even when you reach back to catch your foot. Take your right arm up to the sky. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, kick your foot into your hands. Slide your knees straight back and up. Keep lifting your chest though. And then kick your foot into your hand and lift your chest. So you're strong and grounded in your right foot and your right leg. Steady your gaze. Keep your hamstrings strong, your glutes engaged. One more breath. Okay, from here, start to come back, but we're going to step our left foot back to about a walking distance. Okay, so if you need to adjust, but your feet are about 3 feet apart, depending on the length of your legs. Good, so let's take our mudra behind our back, Kali Mudra. Lift your chest, hug your inner thighs toward each other, and then let's fold over our legs. Like a pyramid pose. Take your arms over your head. Keep squeezing your inner thighs so your outer right hip sliding back. Bring your hands down, step up into standing splits. Reach your left leg way up to the sky. Forehead toward your shin. Now bend both knees, Ardha Matsyendrasana, so a seated spinal twist. You're gonna bend both knees, tuck your left knee behind your right foot, and have a seat inside of your left foot. Yay! So your right foot is on the outside of your left knee, and you can straighten out your left leg if you prefer or keep it bent. Right hand goes back, left arm lifts. Inhale, you're gonna hook the elbow as you exhale. Belly strong. Maybe spin your gaze back behind you. So this is a nice way to stretch your outer hip as well as release tension through your spine. Another option is take your left hand to the outside of your right foot, and you can kind of lean into your right hand and stretch out your right leg. Reach your foot forward. Maybe you come into a little balance. But that's a nice stretch for your IT band as well, your outer right leg. One more breath here. Unwind. Navasana. We visited this briefly early on in class. Let's say hello to it again. Navasana, boat pose. Draw your femur bones down into your hips. Lift your chest. Take another breath. Okay, let's rock forward to our feet. Uttanasana. Maybe use your hands, maybe not. Fold over your legs. Halfway lift as you breathe in. And then fold as you breathe out. Use your legs, your core. Let's stand up, reach up and look up. And hands back to your heart, mountain pose, Tadasana. You can come back to the front of your mat if you're in a weird place on your mat. And let's take Nautradasana on the other side. Standing on your left foot, tall through your spine. Bend your right knee, hug your heel in toward your hip. Feel your hamstrings engage. Steady your eyes and then reach back for your ankle or your foot. Left arm goes up, reach long through your body there. As you're ready, start to kick your foot into your hand. Stay lifted through your chest. Kick and lift. Knees drawing straight back. Just find your expression of the pose. You don't have to go super far. You want your back bend to be a big arc. So you're not pinching in your lower back. So be mindful. Drawing your tailbone back. Almost like you want to draw it under you. Draw your belly in and up. Start to come out, but remember we're going to take that step back. So it's just about a walking distance. Okay, and you can adjust your feet, maybe walk your left foot out to the left so you're not on a tight rope. It'll be a little bit more easy to balance. And then your hands go back. Find your mudra. Interlace your fingers, accept the first two. Kali mudra, lift up through your chest. Exhale, hinge at the front of your hips, fold. Arms start to reach up and overhead. Hug your inner thighs toward each other. You're strong in your legs. Lift your left hip. Odds are it's dropping down. Okay, and then release your hands. Standing split. Stand up into that left foot. Lift your right leg high. Reach all the way up through your toes. And now bend both knees, Ardha Matsyendrasana. So you're going to tuck your right knee behind your left foot. Have a seat. Stretch out your bottom leg if you need. Yay. So left leg crosses over the right. Reach up as you inhale. Exhale, twist to your left. Hook your elbow. Good. And the more you hug your knee in toward your chest, you'll feel the stretch here through the outer hip. Use your breath to deepen the twist through your spine. Stay, just an option. You can catch the outer edge of your left foot. And kind of rock forward and back. Maybe find a little balance. And then unwinding to center. Let's make our way back. One more time, Navasana. Lift your chest. Reach through your toes. Take another deep breath. Okay, and then soles of the feet together, knees wide. Make your way into Baddha Konasana. You can make sure you're even on your sit bones. You can even grab a blanket to sit on. Lengthen up through your spine. And then exhale, fold. If you have that block nearby, maybe you rest your forehead on your block. You can take it onto your feet if you'd like, or onto the floor. Drop the outer hip. So you can press your feet together. Feel your outer hips drop. Feel some space through the back of your pelvis and your lower back. Let's take another round of your breath here. And then inhale slowly, come on up. You can move your block out of the way. Let's gather your legs, roll on down. So we give you an option for bridge pose. So if you want to do more of a supported bridge, you have your block handy. Let's do 2 rounds of bridge. So you can pick one. Maybe your first one is active and your second one is supported. Okay. So feet, heels close to your hips, arms down by your sides. Roll your shoulder blades under your body. So you want to broaden through your collarbones. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, roll up through your spine. Okay, you can hold onto the outer edges of your mat or walk your arms under your body, clasp your hands, whichever is more accessible, and press down into your arms and your feet. And lift your hips, your belly, and your chest. Think about your legs here. We really worked the legs a lot today. You want to hug your inner thighs toward each other. And also imagine or isometrically draw your heels toward your hips. And you'll feel your hamstrings engage again. See if you can lift up just a touch higher. Maybe if it's not even noticeable from the outside, but it's something you feel. So one more deep breath. Spread your toes. And then carefully lower your way down. Release your arms. And resist the urge to hug your knees to your chest. Just stay. If you want, you can walk your feet a little further forward and out to the side and rock your hips a little bit side to side, in between sides. Or in between rounds, rather. So you can do the same thing, full bridge pose, or you can slide the block under your hips. Okay, if you're into full wheel pose, you are welcome to take a full wheel pose. Hands by your ears. You'll take an inhale breath, exhale, lift up, but just be mindful of your body and your energy so you don't crash. Okay, so supported bridge, bridge, or full wheel, or Urdhva. If you're taking a supported bridge, make sure that block is right under your sacrum. Not your lower back. Supported bridge, you're relaxed more through your muscles. You can even float your arms over your head. If you're in an active pose, make sure you're firming the muscles of your legs on all sides. Pointing your tailbone toward the back of your knees. Engaging your belly. Breathing well. If you're in an active pose, take another breath. And come on down. If you're in a supported bridge, stay. And then let's all come into supported bridge, no matter where you were. Slide a block under your hips, and let's take your legs up to the sky. So you're in this Viparita Karani. Rolling again, maybe through your ankles, wiggling your toes. Relax through your eyes, through your cheeks, through your jaw. Feel the movement of your breath through your rib cage, through your lungs. Refreshing your legs here. Take another deep breath. Carefully lower your feet to the ground. Lower your arms if they're overhead, and then lift your hips off of your block and come back to your back. Once again, pause. let's shift the hips to the right and then stretch your left leg out long. Hug your right knee into your chest and take a supine twist. Take your right leg over to the left. Stretch your right arm out, look to your right. Come back through center. Bend both knees, shift your hips to the left, stretch out your right leg and hug your left knee in. And then take your leg over to the right. Stretch your left arm out to the left, look left. Let your body drop heavy. And then come back through center. Last pose here, Apanasana, hug your knees in. Lift your head and shoulders off the ground. You can even cross your wrists and hold on to the outer edges of your feet. Squeeze your body into a tiny little ball. And then as you're ready, stretch out for Shavasana. Take up all the space you can on your mat. Widen your legs, your arms, palms up, shoulder blades under your body. Body nice and heavy. Let go of all of the effort from your practice. Fall into the natural rhythm of your breath. Bring your hands to your belly. Feel into the flow of your breath, the current of your energy. Maybe start to deepen your breath. And start to wiggle your fingers, your toes, roll through your wrists, your ankles. You might stretch your arms over your head with a big breath in. And then exhale, drop heavy once more. When you're ready, bend your knees, roll over to one side to your fetal shape. It's a symbol of renewal after your corpse pose. Reminding you it's okay to let go, to release, make space for something new. With your eyes soft or closed, press up to a seat. And once you're there, find Anjali Mudra. Palms together in front of your heart, bow your head. And recall your intention or offering for this morning's practice. Let's close our practice with the sound of Om together. As you're ready, take a deep breath in. Empty out into Om. Thank you all for the blessing of your company. I hope you have a lovely day. And may others as well benefit from our practice. Namaste. Thanks, you guys.